each one of us, except Kevo, who is going to be our Michelle, right? We're going to pick 5 queens based on some values. Now, what Tori did, Tori's an incredible genius, and Tori went through and created a document with every girl's placement, and then kind of like we determined what the challenge types were, and we came up with Tori, what's the acronym?
I believe that it is CUNT, Charisma, Uniqueness, Nerve, and Talent.
And we came up with values for each one of these motherfucking girls and how incredible they are. This is just about how great every one of these girls is. We are here to celebrate what makes drag so powerful. Hey everybody, this is your favorite show. It's Crystal Was Robbed. My name is Nico. You guys can catch me in Asbury Park championing our queen. Crystal, I'm kidding. Hey everybody, welcome back to X's for Show, your premium media response show. I'm Nico Action at ICOACTION. Obviously, I have an agenda today.
Yeah, I'm TK. You can find me at TK Accidental.
And I'm Tori. You can find me at SM Tori. That's Tori with an I.
Hey everyone, it's Jonah. You can find me places at Peak Jonah.
And that makes me your producer, Kevo. You can find me at Kevo Really. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we know what you want us to cover in the future. Today, obviously, we are covering Snatch Game. And right up front, no, we don't think Snatch Game is broken. But I think that we, like many people in fandom, think that it needs some major retweaking. But we all love Snatch Game. We don't want to see it gone forever. It's not damaged, but there is something going on, and it needs to be addressed.
No, it's a little Danity Kane.
I was going to say, I think it's damaged. I wouldn't want to see it gone forever, but wouldn't it be cool to see it gone for 10 seasons and then get a triumphant return?
Okay, hold on. If it's gone for 10 seasons, I am going to blame the one before over here, because I don't think it should be gone for 10 seasons. Gone for 10 seasons? I don't have that kind of memory span.
Arbitrary number 5.
I'm going to move on to Wheel of Whores or something by then. I'll be so over Snatch Game.
That's what I'm saying. We could do other games.
As a challenge in an institution is specifically the one challenge any contestant going on Drag Race can very specifically prepare for. And I'm not saying improv is easy. Nobody's saying sitting there in a cold room for 2 hours with no audience, no crew, and no actual idea of how well you're doing is easy. But it feels like as we get more and more people, we've talked about this last season as well, where it feels like there were only a couple people really kind of putting everything in there. This episode, it felt like more people just didn't maybe understand. You had people who thought they understood, but then it just didn't land. I don't think Snatch Game itself is broken, because the idea of I'm a celebrity playing Match Game, it's not, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's not rocket science.
It's not impossible, and it's an incredibly basic premise to, like, you can't crack that. Like, how do you, so I don't know how people keep dropping the ball.
I want to ask a couple of questions to start. Okay, so I'm a stage performer and improvist myself, and we all kind of improv on this show every week. So I just want to put out there: are we all as fucking funny as we wish we could be? No, but you know, the other thing I do want to say, and I want to kind of get this read on the room real quick. Number one, I do want to completely agree with Andrew. Yes, Tori, you are looking wicked, sparkly, and so lovely, lovely as ever, and so wonderful. And I do think that we try to talk about the girls with respect on this show, because they're real people. And if you're on this show, you're a fucking amazing performer that you made it this far with your life and you're killing it. And you deserve our respect. If you have a bad week, it's a bad week. If you have a bad season, you had a bad couple of weeks. But who hasn't had a bad couple of weeks at work, right?
Right.
I do think part of where we are starting to lose the mark a little bit is these girls rightfully go online and say, we're real people. Please talk about us kindly. I kind of think sometimes they forget that the people they're impersonating on Snatch Game are real people. And I sometimes think that the idea that an impersonation can come down to one joke and you can just do one joke for 20 minutes, a person isn't one joke. And so, like, I feel like something that does kind of go into this is the respect that goes into the performance. And I want to get into everybody and individuals, but like, do you guys feel that the girls always approach the performances with the respect they implicitly ask us for, or sometimes explicitly ask us for.
No, and I am so excited you asked this early so that I can call out Lydia Butthole Collins, who I don't think has ever seen David Lynch say a single thing in his life. And I think that Lydia does not actually respect or engage with any of the things she claims to reference.
I think she kind of needs to change her performance or die.
I'm really, like...
No, it's a David Lynch joke, Jonah.
David Lynch joke. See?
As the person who doesn't David Lynch, I was like, oh, this is a perfectly serviceable weird guy.
It's change your heart or die.
It was a very beautiful quote and one that is very relevant. But yes, change your hearts or die. Beautiful memory that we now all have of him. And David Lynch has such a specific voice. If you literally have never heard him before, this wasn't like she was funny as a person.
And now the weather.
She was kind of She was kind of more David Duchovny, generic, which is funny because like that's the the
other half of my quote.
Yeah, so I don't like. It wasn't that it wasn't a funny, like that she's not funny. She was actually she held her own there, but. And I'm extra sensitive because David Lynch is why I wanted to be a filmmaker.
And we just lost him.
Since I was far too young to be watching Twin Peaks. And we just lost him. And I don't believe she has ever seen David Lynch say a word because his voice is so distinct and so easy to mimic.
Yes,
he is a character, and that's part of the problem. It's not like he's someone where you would need to make something up. He's someone who's given so many interviews and has given such personality that it is easy to come up with an impression. If
he's
that is what you're to do.
This also was Tim Burton, kind of, who I know she loves.
And a little bit Bowie in Twin Peaks.
There's a lot of people there, but as a Lynch thing, it really made me angry, and then it really made me question, because she talks about all these things that inspire her, and they are Burton, and she said she was going to do Catherine O'Hara, and I'm 100% certain her Catherine O'Hara would have just been Moira Rose. But it would have been fascinating.
Catherine O'Hara's.
Well, no, I mean Catherine O'Hara, Kevin.
I just saw Beetlejuice 2, where she played Catherine O'Hara as Moira Rose in Beetlejuice.
I feel like she played Catherine O'Hara remembering her original performance, but having played Moira Rose too recently. But the original character had a really distinct voice that was also distinct from Kevin's mom. She's had some very diverse performances, but I'm 100% certain that performance would have just been Moira Rose.
My Jimmy impression is a little bit Veronica's Closet, but it's mostly Sister Act 2. You know what I mean?
And mine is 100% the witch from Hocus Pocus.
Fuck yes.
So I mean, I don't know. There's this made me so mad, and it is to that point. The flip side of that one is you knew Aiden Zane loved that woman from Rocky Horror so much, and she was just bad at Snatch Game. I believed her that this was something. I'm kind of like Suzie, and Suzie's Ellen Green impression was very well researched, and I know she tried really hard. The fact that it didn't work was a thing that we can talk about, but there are people who choose characters to do for Snatch Game, and you can see the love, and you can see that they are not good at Snatch Game, and I would never come for somebody like that. I'm coming down a little hard on Lydia because she was actually great at Snatch Game.
She was very funny doing the wrong character. Yes, I agree completely. Yeah. She was very funny.
She was really, really funny. This both made me like her more and made me so mad at her.
But it does her in a way that you have to love her to be.
Maybe. But it does, to your point. Yeah, I mean, we have definitely seen people come on hating Snatch Game, kind of picking a character they thought they could do. I mean, Sugar and Spice, I think, are good examples. I don't really think they respected the characters or the game. That's a somewhat different thing than the vitriol fans can come to the girls with. But I definitely do see your point, and it's worth discussing as we are doing.
Tori, how do you feel about the level of respect? Because something that you and I both had a reaction to just a week ago was how much we loved Nina West as Carol Channing in Channing Tatum, and how loving that impression was. And like, how did you feel about like the level of respectosity that these girls were serving?
I think there was respect in that some of them, it was, this is a vehicle for me to do basically myself on stage, or a vehicle to like kind of be a ridiculous version. I don't know. I think the respect was there. I think it was confused. And I think they didn't know how to show that respect. I think a lot of these people did a really good job. I think even Crystal has a certain amount of respect for Nicole Richie, but I think that it was more about wanting to find something close enough to herself that she could embody, and it just went sideways. I think that's what a lot of them chose to do. They chose to choose someone that is very close to who they are so that they can shine through. I think this is a group that is more enchanted with the Vanjie way of going through Snatch Game than it is through the Bendela Creme way of going through Snatch Game.
My Snatch Game character is a pretty. I mean, if I were doing full drag and I were doing Snatch Game, I would do Gwen Stefani, which is like one of my top impressions to do. And everyone who knows me knows it's like one of my favorite things to just be Gwen Stefani out of nowhere in the middle of the day for like 5 or 6 minutes.
I really love and see a lot of what your theory is, Tori, but then I am even more upset by what we have now learned about the other twin sitting in that corner. What does that mean for Arietti? Because this was similarly upsetting, and like I'm being a little hyperbolic there, but really truly, to tie it back to Nico's point, even, what the hell did any of this have to do with Cupid? What was this character? Even goes so far as a mythological or fictional character like this. Like, I can't tell what she was trying to do, and if a lot of these girls really were bringing themselves to the table. I mean, the fact that Ru said, why Cupid? And she said, like, I'm baby.
Yeah, I honestly think that's what it is. I think for her that's all it was. It was, I have a funny baby voice that kills at parties. What's a famous baby that I can do? Ooh, Cupid's cute. Wings are great. Let's do that one.
Well, and so
that's what it actually is. Arietti's hot, so she never had to develop funny personality to get by in life, because she was able to get by.
Yeah, so people told her
that be a little facetious, but I don't want to discredit, because I do think there are times where she can say something that's like shady and funny. But I one of the things I think I've noticed is the people who respect the characters the most are the people who are willing to go the hardest. The most recent example, not even from this season, I think of season 15, Lucy doing Joan Rivers. And she just consistently went for Joan. And it's one of those things where I think if you're able to kind of get into the mindset of, I love this character so much, I don't mind that I can make a fool of myself or this impression, I think you can service yourself to do well. But I think some people get caught up in doing an actual impersonation. I think Suzie this week kind of got caught up in the idea of, oh, I'm doing a great Ellen Green. And that's great. I'm sure this is a pretty great impersonation, but it's not what the specific challenge is.
I just want to jump back real quick so it doesn't seem like I was just talking about myself. So the reason I brought up doing the Gwen Stefani impersonation was because one of the things is, like, I am such a big, loud person who there are so many big, loud people I could imitate really easily. I don't think I would get a lot of laughs for that. I don't think I would get a lot of claps for that. I don't think if I came in doing Robin Williams as the genie, a lot of people would be impressed with it. I think if I came in doing Gwen Stefani, which is very against type, it would like draw a little bit more in. And Tori, it wasn't until you said that these girls were more interested in expressing their general humor that I really thought about that. Yeah, you're right. There are kind of like the De La go against type and then there's this sort of going in with it, because I even think everybody's points as it continued really highlights it. Arrietty as, I won't even say sexy baby because it was like poopy baby, and that's horrible. But Arrietty is poopy baby, layering in against Jules's Miss Bigfoot. Like, they are exactly, one of them tried to be sexy and it was gross, and one of them tried to be gross and it was adorable. And so, like, it really worked for me. Like, I thought it was a really fascinating story. It really, you proved the theory right on stage.
But then, like, you know, as soon as I saw what Arrietty chose for a character, I went to Christine Milioti in 30 Rock, and you know, Abby Grossman, the very sexy baby. And I, you know, I thought she was gonna do that. Like, there's a way to do that and make it funny. That type of character is at the same level as doing a Bigfoot. And as Jonah said, like, Arrietty has had some great reads and, like, is funny. I sort of miss the days when RuPaul, and she actually did it recently, but I feel like we need to go back to boot camp with this lesson. Take what you're good at and apply it to every challenge. I think they don't remind the girls enough or give them the tools to see, like, hey, if you're really cunty and mean and you, like, can kiki with your best friend at, you know, at your makeup station and, like, make each other giggle talking about someone, figure out how to turn that into an impression for Snatch. Like, figure out how to turn that humor that you guys have into something you can call up a little bit. And
like when my tight 10 was about me almost getting abducted behind a tire center.
Yes, precisely. You know, like, if you've lived a life and you have stories, figure out how to turn them into something. You know, Sam's strength is her weakness, because they're now calling out her being too put together, and I think that's on. But her strength is she's a pageant girl and she's always prepared. So she showed up ready to go. Was she the funniest ever? No, but she really got through. And
it's like Red Lobster. Is it fresh seafood? No, but dinner is dinner.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's on the sign. You are still getting seafood. You know, you're getting a lobster. Like,
when you're here, you're seafood.
So I mean, everybody has their strengths and they can be applied to every challenge. Also, sorry, now that it's on the screen, was this somebody? Did I not get this voice?
I don't know. There was a talking butt plug. It made me mad.
Yeah, it was run through something. It felt a little bit like it was either Michelle or Ross.
I thought it might be Michelle, but then it didn't.
Just like on a microphone, just off stage, just answering things.
Yeah, I don't know. This was weird and not funny. And let's not normalize AI, guys.
Yeah, this fucking Georgia O'Keeffe painting.
This was filmed last year when we were having this big boom of AI and everything, AI, whatever. That they were like, yeah, we'll capitalize on it, not realizing that by this year
we all hate it.
Yeah.
I
have to give Arrietty a little bit of props. Her baby character was way better than Alexis Mateo's baby character from
Baby
Canada
Ron DeSantis.
Yeah,
Jonas
was
said
slightly better.
Jonas said retire all babies from Snatch Game. I think Snatch Game should be 18 and older only. You should not be allowed to impersonate a minor on Snatch Game.
Here, I
don't know. Shirley Temple.
I was watching a video earlier today, and they mentioned the fact that for many of us who so Snatch Game happened in like the 60s. Many of us watched it in the 90s. It has now been 30 years later that these girls are thinking of Snatch Game and the way that we're thinking about it. Like, they're so far removed from the show that they don't even realize like what like the joke is, I guess, about Snatch Game.
It's so weird because there was just a very successful run of Match Game on ABC that it was literally one of the most successful game shows on TV in the last 20 years. Yeah, I mean, ABC built 2 nights of entertainment around running reruns of Match Game. It was doing so well in the ratings. For 6 years, this decade, in prime time, hosted by Alec Baldwin. So of course they shot that chance. But the thing that happened was that the level of celebrity was so extraordinary. The people we saw on it were absolutely unbelievable. We saw Ice-T just being incredible. We saw Melissa Fumero. We saw. Did you say we saw Nicole Richie?
No, Christina Ricci.
Oh, we saw Christina Ricci, right? And I'm just naming the people we saw when we saw multiple tapings because we love Match Game.
When I went with you, it was Mario Cantone, Brooke Shields, because we Michael Chiklis, because we were at the cop episode.
Yeah. And
Brooke
it was just,
Shields?
I don't think it was Brooke Shields, but I think he's close. Oh, because yeah. And so anyway, it was on recently, and it was popular, and so like, I don't know, shouldn't some part of this be it's something that TK, Jonah, Tori, Kevo, and myself say every week. You wouldn't go to a driving test having not been behind the wheel and not read the manual. So why are some of these girls coming to the show not knowing what Match Game is when you can watch episodes right there on YouTube?
I don't even think you need to know what Match Game is, because I don't think it has ever mattered to me once in my entire life if a girl has had a good answer for Snatch Game. I don't care about the questions. I don't care about the answers. It's about doing the character impression, because this is meant to be a jury of characters doing Snatch Game. So even if you don't know what Match Game is, if you've watched the show, Tamar, you get what Snatch Game is. And even if you can't give good answers in this, like, butt plug, the way you're supposed to give dumb answers for Match Game, all you need to be able to do is interact with Rue in this game show as your character. That's the basics of Snatch Game. And people just can't. They can't. Kevo,
I just want to say, I love your use of that quote there for a moment, because we're at the point where we have to say that quote so much. I feel like we should start conjugating Tamar into Tamo, Tamas, Tama, Tamamos. I feel like we have got to, like, it's at the point where it's a language.
It's the verb for have you seen the show, yeah.
But the other thing I want to point out, and this is one of those things that this past fucking episode of Traitors, oh my god, Tom Sandoval is a musical genius.
Yeah, that was weird.
But I bring it up. Very impressed with his performance. Because the main thing to think about when you're doing these sorts of impressions of characters, when you're trying to mimic something, when you're trying to create something, your drive should be to engage with what the show is. And the way Kevo's saying, it doesn't really need to be about knowing how Match Game works. I think it becomes iterative of iteration of iteration. So like, these girls are imitating Snatch Game, imitating things. And at some point, it's like the end of the substance, and the copy is just scary. And so like, you wind up in a position where these girls are a little bit monstro, not their fault. They're copying something that is an imperfect copy, which is where we allow for certain things, like Anya Nerve, one obviously, one comfortably. Mm-hmm. For me, I thought she did the best version of my impression of Suzie Orman is just, oh, Suzie Orman jacket. And like, I think that tells you Suzie Orman. You completely understand her. That was how I felt about Anya Nerve. I did clock to Kevo and to JoJo that it did feel like she knows about 8 years of Eddie Murphy. And this is a man that I find very sexy throughout history. And so I felt like I was expecting references to other Eddie Murphy stuff that I love a lot and didn't get it, but that's okay. I just saw Mariah Carey and didn't hear Someday, and I'm still gayer for it. But I don't know. I do think that by sticking with doing a copy of something she knew and copying it into this, like a color forms set, I think Anya super smash brothered Cloud and Sephiroth in really comfortably.
I want to agree with you, because I think Anya tapped into someone that she might enjoy a lot and has enough references and knowledge to know how to do the impersonation while also being funny. So it feels like, oh, Eddie Murphy's there. Like she nailed the voice. That was Eddie Murphy's voice, and the way he speaks, his cadence, all of that. So it was really, you see Anya's improv and acting chops really on full display, being so comfortable to do something like this. And conversely, talking about how like some of these girls might have just didn't really know what to do or ideas or anything like that. It's why I wish Quinta was in the workroom with them as opposed to Alyssa, because Quinta gave some of the best advice ever while they were on stage, and I wish she was there in the workroom to help them just develop it just a little bit more, saying, hey, like, okay, this is what you want to do, try this direction, go with here, this, I think this will be funny. Comedy doesn't always work, you know, even if something in theory should be funny, it might not land still, and that's just comedy. Comedy's subjective. But I think I think a lot of the girls had one idea, one joke, one idea, and in some cases when somebody said that joke before them, had no idea what to do, froze over. And it's, I think having a seasoned comedian, writer, someone who does comedy to at least walk you through, okay, try these choices, this is what I think would work, I think would have serviced the episode just better in general. This wasn't even a bad episode, it was just a bad challenge.
The way Gottmik had Amy Schumer.
You mean Nikki
Glaser?
Oh, Nikki Glaser. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I had the same thought about Quinta Brunson insofar as also like making the show work even better. I do think more mentorship at this time would be a really good thing. These girls are basically guaranteed to be celebrities. If they will continue to be in the public eye as much as they can be, and we sort of hope that everybody makes it into the public eye, that nobody falls by the wayside. And some of the best, most authentic, most interesting interactions are with the pro judges who invest. And that includes Nicki Minaj, who I think that was the last time I ever liked Nicki Minaj, but she so clearly cared enough to say something about each girl's verse and to give a real piece of advice. Lady Gaga went backstage and sat with them and had something legit to say to everybody. Quinta Brunson, I think, easily could have done the walkthrough and easily could have stayed for an hour long untucked, giving them, you know, direction and advice too. I also think, you know, something I said on Blue Sky was that it's the most special thing in the world when Black queens get to interact with famous Black judges and when trans queens get to interact with famous trans people, because we all take for granted the people that we see on screen and on stage that look like us all the time. And even though, you know, at our level, we don't necessarily get to interact with them very often, we are inundated with them so often that we do get to sort of point and choose to model ourselves. And for a lot of other people, for a lot of minority people, you never get that chance, let alone the chance to sit and talk to somebody and to get both that lift up and that boost and that person to come in and say, like, I was where you are, I'm here now, like, here's some advice. I don't know. I love when a queen shows up, you know, especially if it's Raven, and you know, and especially
never made a mistake in her life,
and especially when it's she made a couple, but when it's you know, when what she's saying is specifically like makeup related and she can really give some solid professional advice, that's really special. Had this been a dance situation, I would have loved to have Alyssa. That's you know, when she choreographs for Plastique, and you know, that's fantastic. But more mentorship, because you know there are so many celebrities who say they don't want to do Drag Race because they don't want to judge the girls, but those same celebrities would absolutely come in for a day of filming and talk to them and give them advice. And I think we would learn more about each girl's aspirations and their professional goals and sort of, and you know, their weaknesses too, by what they're asking and what they need help with. You know, talking to somebody like Sam Starr had the chance to really ask some people some questions about stuff that she's not clear on. We might actually get an opportunity to see the crack in that facade. Sometimes the show doesn't give you that opportunity, which is why it's such bullshit when they tell you that you need to show your softer side. But that, you know, Quinta was she's so amazing, and it really floored me for just wanting to see that all the more.
I also want to ask a question. Did I grow up too close to Newark and just didn't think that what Anya was wearing was drag? I literally did not think that was like, that's literally what people wore to school. I'm not trying to be like an asshole.
No,
like
she
it's
really
perfect. There's not a mistake on the stage, but that people literally wore basically that.
A dramatized version.
Well, she was really trying to make a canvas for the nails. And I, you know, and she went with something, I don't want to say simplified, but something that would make the nails really pop. And I really loved it. And I was glad that it didn't, because some people went all out in very different ways.
Like Corey King
at all.
Like Corey King, who went all the way to Walmart.
Corey King, the easiest daytime nail I've ever seen on a woman. For a nails runway. I love this. This is incredible.
Okay, first of all, Marcel over here, you stop that.
I'm trying to zoom in on the wrong
choose the Jersey ducked nail. That French press. Not a French press. It's a French tip.
French tip.
I love it. It's hysterical. It's
and like not even like a well done French tip. Like it was literally the press on cheap drugstore. Like it was. I was appalled, and that comes from someone who cannot wear nails. I tried to put on press on nails, and they just fell off. They're not for me. It's not for me. So like I get it. But if it's a nails thing, you got to go. And if you wanted to highlight a French tip, you got to do something else.
I've seen better nails at Home Depot.
I love the idea. I love that she said French tip, you know, mime, French person, like a French stereotype. But
that's
I'm bummed that she and it's kind of the exact opposite of Anya.
This surrender manicurist.
Anya thought like Jersey nail, and then she gave the most Jerseyed out nail she could give, and then built a look that would really speak to that.
Yeah,
I do. Oh, did you have some, Tori?
No, I was agreeing. It was stunning. It's a stunning look. I think the nails almost across the board were very fascinating, and it was very cool to see a different part of a runway highlighted, because I know we've seen more and more of the big nails coming through on the runways in recent years, so this is really kind of neat.
What I love about that, the category being nailed it and focusing on the nails, is that it's so broad. This is an opportunity to say, working with whoever, whether you make your look, whether you're gonna design, doesn't matter. How creative can you be? What are the limits of your creativity? Because the limit does not exist.
Yeah.
Also, I need to make sure I heard this right. Did Suzie think Iron Maidens were fantasy? Those were real. Those were real.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
She said they were like a fantasy device.
Fantasy torture device?
Mythological?
They're real.
She said mythological or something. Yeah, she said...
Maybe she meant medieval, and she just sort of fumbled the word vomit.
Oh, good call. Good call.
It's not a good week for Suzie.
No.
Honestly, after I said that Amy Schumer was Nikki Glaser, I'm not coming for anybody having a misspeak. But the problem isn't the misspeak. The problem is, so Suzie, my husband and I, and our wonderful partner, hey kiddo, we all loved a show called Marry Me. I'm in the final episode of this brilliant program starring some of the most incredible comedians. It was by David Casp. Tim Meadows, who is one of my absolute favorites in this show, says, these references, who are they for? And like, Suzie, when you were like, I'm okay with it. I'm gonna marry Suzie too. Like I think she's like a beautiful man, a beautiful woman. She's literally my aesthetic, my sense of humor. She's one of my breakout most loves ever, and it's amazing. But when she was like, I know my references were great, and I know you guys don't get it, but Ru is gonna see it. And she says that early in the episode, and I'm thinking to myself, but Ru hates musicals.
Yeah.
And why would you
Don't
bank
do it
on
for character.
why would you bank on Rue knowing this character from this musical? Rick Moranis isn't
And-
fuckable.
It's even down to in Untucked when she's like, if she'd watched that movie last week, she would have laughed.
Last week.
I don't. I'm not sure. Listen, I even want to say, yeah, I think this was really good and even kind of funny. But this is not the audience, even if you did a good job. And what we've said from what we always say, your job is to make Rue laugh. Not to amuse yourself, but it's RuPaul's Drag Race.
This was only for RuPaul Anka. This was for some
Yeah.
very.
This was for no one on this show.
Yeah,
No
I feel like we constantly say that the queens are making very young references and RuPaul is sort of fumbling along, following behind. I think it is
Opposite, yep.
very possible that this is a miscalculated opposite. Where Suzie Toot was like, Rue, an old gay will love this old gay reference, and that's not part of old Rue gay's Paul sensibility. So
Not to compare everybody to Jinx, because I don't think it's fair when you have somebody who does so well at sort of challenges like this. But
Broom.
Jinx did
selling out Carnegie
Little
Hall.
Which absolutely incredible, amazing. But Jinx did Little Edie. I guarantee 99% of the people watching Snatch Game for season 5 had no idea who Little Edie was. You don't have to know who the person is. You just have to make them funny. The idea of Little Edie was hysterical. So I don't want people to feel like they can't do somebody who people might not know or might be a way obscure, way niche. Not to say that Ellen Green is that niche or obscure, but I don't think the casual person might not know who she is unless they're a musical fan.
The songs
Yeah,
that
most
she's
people-
best known for are Suddenly Seymour and Build a Little Birdhouse in Your Soul. She's obscure.
Yeah, I would think most people
Yeah.
don't know her, which is fine. Like you said, Little Edie, great example. But Suzie got lost in a couple things. One, and I don't know how she didn't get this because she's so on point. She thought this was an impression game. She did not
Right.
come to joke. She had the impression, but she was so obsessed with doing it that she didn't volley and she didn't do jokes. And like the scissor thing was funny. I can absolutely see why you would think that was funny, and it got an initial like not flop, but it was not big enough for her to do it again.
Mhm.
It was
And
almost
when
like the tap number thing, where she was like, "See it?
Well,
See
that's
the joke?"
the tab number thing was exactly what I was thinking about, because she saw that she got the enormous laugh and then she improved and was like, we're
that
gonna
was
do it
great.
again. And then, I'll do it again.
There was no improv here.
No, and the thing that she did again, she didn't get the laugh. So why would you do it again? And like RuPaul was kind of very clearly saying to her, the joke of "I can't understand you because you sound like Ellen Green," who had a affectation, not quite really a lisp, but had a vocal affectation. That joke isn't working. Either do it again in a different way, but she just did the exact same thing. I don't know. It was such a bummer.
It was too Kevin James,
and-
Leah Remini.
To compare it to Lana, it was like you said, it was a commitment to the joke you wanted to tell and no ability to deviate.
Yes.
Once Rue said the only joke that she thought of, she had nothing else. Where
But also-
and it was the opposite of Suzie being like, "No, I'm gonna tell the jokes that I want, even if they're bombing. I'm gonna commit to the jokes I have and not try and improv something new, even in character."
I'm also just honestly fascinated that Lana did not have a second joke, or
Yeah.
or a
Yes.
third or a fourth.
Why
Like,
wouldn't you
you
just
have to-
start saying the lyrics to Outkast's Rosa Parks?
Yeah.
Like-
poor
like-
Lana just was completely unprepared.
Yeah,
And it goes back to
Yeah.
Nico's original point of this is a real person and not just like, we idolize David Lynch, but like he's a film director. This is, a civil rights leader figure. Like that's a really wild one to take.
Tori, you were saying.
I think that this was a really unfortunate display for Lana, but I think it kind of boils down to what I think of Lana, which is that I think what you see is what you get, and there's not much. Or if it's down way further than we can get to in 12 episodes. Like, it's not. It is what it is, and I think she's a beautiful girl with great talent, excellent skill sets that are just not being showcased here. It's very interesting that she's still around.
I think she is the most desperately needs to learn to apply her skills to the challenge, because I think that I think the skills that she has are top notch, but she doesn't know how to do anything but what she wants to do with them. And yeah, I mean, at this point, it was a real bummer to see Crystal go this week. You know, I don't feel that anybody was dramatically better in this lip sync. What I said to Tori earlier was Crystal recognized a thing that happens sometimes in a Drag Race lip sync where you fall into a pattern with your competitor and you start to get into each other's space in a way that a lot of girls end up embracing that. And like immediately what comes to mind is Vibology with Adore and Trinity K. Bonet, where they're both just kind of like on each other. Not quite the same, but they just managed to like have an energy together. Would be Drive with Alyssa Edwards and Tatiana. It never, I mean, Mimi I'm First will tell you, it never behooves you to become oppositional towards the other person on stage. If you want to not engage with them,
like, wag your finger at them and
if you want to not engage with them, or if you want to do like a Ginger Minj genius figuring out how to yes and a no with the phone lip sync with Mayhem Miller, and they both are, you know, it's obviously very confrontational, but it is a yes and they are doing a thing, and it's really funny. If you tap into that, and it's something that most of the time it happens by luck and then you capitalize on it, but you never take those moments and turn them into outright opposition. And Crystal got stepped over by Lana and immediately turned that into going through to her legs, and then tried to interact with her a number of times. And you see Lana not engaging at all on stage. And then the bigger thing is in the confessional, she clearly says like, now I want to fight you. And I know that Crystal did the hands thing, but the song is Can't Keep My Hands to Myself. And that could have been a Ginger and Mayhem moment. I don't know. I just felt like in that moment, Crystal showed me, even if Lana was a little bit sexier, which I think is debatable, Crystal showed me that she had this willingness and this tool in her toolbox. And it kind of is, she kind of showed that she could do the thing that she was unable to do in Snatch Game. But like she has it, she could do it. And it was so heartbreaking to me that after all of that, Ru sent her home. She was not one of my top girls. But she was one that I said this to Nico, she wasn't in my top. Subjectively, she just isn't who I would have picked. I haven't super connected with her, but I see the talent so much that if she had been in the top 3, I wouldn't have thought it was an injustice. I would have just thought like, oh, somebody that I liked didn't make it. But from what she has shown us, and the one really kind of stumble that she had here on Snatch Game versus where we are with Lana, I don't know. This felt like maybe Ru was trying to do a personal favor to Lux Noir London for not picking.
Okay. I'm so glad you said so. I want to. Okay. I do take this one maybe as personally as I take Asia not winning.
Yes.
I take this one really personally because I uniquely love this queen independent of this show.
Yes.
The Empress is my safe place in this world. And so like I take this one really personally, and I hate that I can hear there's like a little bit of crack in my voice. I hate that because like Crystal was my queen, and like this sucks. But The thing I do want to say that I'm worried. I don't think it's a favor to Lux, even though I've actually made that comment as well. Because I've been funny the same way TK was being funny, and maybe he's being more honest. I actually have an uncomfortable worry that this was because Crystal was not giving them enough angry bitch. She was giving them very whatever. I'm a professional. I run a business. I don't have time for this. And like TK and I both, it's something he'll agree with me. If she's from Asbury, girl makes bank for that real estate. And so like she's a businesswoman. She's not here to play kid games that Lana can afford to play as a young entertainer primarily. I genuinely worry this was to give Lana a villain edit. Because now the world has seemingly thought this weekend that Lana maybe was the less comfortable choice to stay. And Crystal should have stayed. It seems to be a general sentiment on the internet. I am certainly here to say Lana is so fucking talented. She's got what it takes to be in the finale. But her last couple of weeks have been rough. And I and a lot of people on the internet seem to echo that sentiment. And Lana deserves to be here too. No one is coming for Lana, who is an incredible performer. I don't feel the right call was made here. And I feel it is at the expense of Lana being liked by the fan community in a way that really frustrates me for this incredible performer.
Yes.
I'm going to slightly disagree from the things I've seen online. I think people are giving Lana a much, much harder time. I'm not saying that Crystal has people driving out for her support.
No, I'm saying people are giving Lana a really hard time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's
okay.
bad.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying, yeah, they're giving that this was designed to make Lana a villain, and now the fandom is turned on Lana for staying.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I know our fans aren't bad people. And bad faith actors who send people nasty messages, but I think it's a good reminder. Lana had no choice in staying. She did not actively choose to send Crystal home. It is all the judges. Stop getting mad at girls for judges' decisions. They do not have control like that.
Absolutely.
I think I'm going to say two things. One, I think Crystal was unfortunately sealed when she did not name a Lionel Richie song.
Yeah.
RuPaul loves Lionel Richie. Nicole Richie loves her father, and it was just, I can tell Crystal loves Nicole Richie, but that is a specific detail that you should have had something prepared for. That because
it was a failure. It was a failure of Lionel Richie, and it was a failure of improv. 2 prongs.
Yes. But when you look at, and not that track record has to mean everything, but when you look at Crystal's record throughout the competition, top 2, safe. Arguably top 2 again, safe. Top 2 again. And it really, the show just did not seem as invested in her as, say, someone like who would have a similar storyline, like Sam Starr. They seem to be a little bit more interested in telling the narrative of I'm a really polished, put together person, and I just need to come out of my shell and break free. But I think they're going with that for Sam, and none for Crystal by. But I think this was a week of showing of production doing something of, well, we kind of need to take her out now because otherwise when are we going to be able to do it? And I think the fandom is seeing, oh, that kind of sucks. We don't. I think a sentiment I've seen is there could be production interference. You can produce the show, make it a good show, but you have to give us some semblance of fairness. I don't know if this week showed us a semblance of fairness. Not that life's fair. Naomi Smalls said it best, but you can't kind of keep. I don't know. These are real people with real careers. It feels a little.
I also don't know how much I'm going to buy the narrative of, hi, I'm Sam Starr, my mother is Trinity the Tuck, and my godfather is Charles Barkley. I'm shy.
Well, but that's the thing, is that like we get a lot of Sam Starr in the confessionals, way more than we get Crystal. At the end of the day, they're both pageant girls who know how to put a look together, look stamped, do well in most challenges. And Crystal isn't standing out amongst the pack at the end of the day when it comes to like personality wise in the workroom. She's not providing good television. And I think it's one of those where like, how long can you have similar, but I mean, they are very different, but similar-ish kind of archetypes in the room if they're never going to butt heads. Because that was the other part. There could have very easily been a pageanty thing between them. And there's not. They seem perfectly normal, happy,
Lovely.
simple people. And production just sort of went, well, okay, whichever one lands in the bottom next will probably head home. Whereas Lana has proven to be volatile, secretive, divisive, and, you know, gorgeous. So...
gorgeous and ever potentiary.
Well, like, you know,
always
gorgeous on
has
the runway, like it's a vibe.
Oh no, Colin! I just want to be clear with you. We love Crystal. Like the whole thing started with Crystal. This whole thing started with me trying not to say that Crystal was the rumor to be on the season. We're from right near Asbury. Crystal is like, she's my hometown queen. Like she means every. Like I am heartbroken. But this was not my favorite performance from her. I did believe she should have been saved. If Crystal does not take an All-Stars, then there is something wrong with the system. And I, as the guy who wrote the track in the background and writes the track in the background of every fucking episode, I hope Crystal calls me because I am going to write tracks for her, whether she wants to sing or just wants to move to them. Look at my SoundCloud down there. Crystal, I personally am a little more invested in Crystal on this show than maybe the show this season, so I'm a little heartbroken. And I held it together because I'm a good guy, and I'm so happy for Lana. But goddamn, Crystal was she wasn't just a hometown girl for me. There was a sense of pride in the quality of her polish. It's hard to understand what it's like to grow up near a city. Like I understand why Kevy identifies with Oz so much, because one of the things that is an implicit argument of both things like drag, musical theater, and the identity of Oz is that there's always this magical city that you are meant to be in, that you are always just out of reach of. And who you are is so special and beautiful that when you get there, you're going to be welcomed. And I grew up next to New York City. I mean, like 20 miles from New York City. And we went in once a week, once a month. We went in constantly. And the other place that I felt that magic from, like a New York City, was Asbury Park. And you just can't understand the artistry of that city. You don't understand why that boardwalk is magical. And like, if you have, and like, Crystal represented everything I love about where I'm from. And I just think she is the world. And so I hope she has the best career going forward. Thank you guys for giving me that space. Just, this was such a loss.
And as someone who doesn't feel that way about Crystal, I wanted her to stay because I wasn't done. Like, as I said earlier, she was not one of my favorites. But I wasn't done seeing what she had to do, including possibly not do great. Like not that I want to see her too badly, but like, you know, I was interested in how she would approach I was interested in how she was going to approach Snatch Game, and the fact that she didn't do well was a bummer, but I was still like, okay, like I know we've got like, is she going to destroy the makeover challenge? Is she somehow would she have killed in this rusical because she was so great as the tumble? Because she was, again, like that's kind of an improv. It's a much slower improv, but it's, you know, being like, oh, rather than, you know, we don't have a tumbleweed, so what's something funny we can do here? She's funny. The fact that, as I said earlier, during the lip sync, she wanted to do stuff to interact with and play with Lana. She can improv. She gets it. She can do it. She just didn't do well in Snatch Game. And so even more, I was like, yeah, like I want to see what she's got for these upcoming challenges that I know are here. And I know she's a top tier queen. She might not do well at some of these things, but I'm interested to see what this character does. I love her a lot. She is gorgeous. I am no longer super interested in seeing what Lana has to bring to the table because she has had a number of chances. And while some of the looks have been absolutely amazing, I have not been wowed at any other point. And again, like I said, I would love to see her get that coaching on here's the things that you're great at. How would you turn that into a successful improv character? How would you construct an outfit really thinking about, like when you have to construct it from scratch, how would you construct it at the level you do when it's something that you're building? I would love to get answers to those questions, but it's a little late now and I'm no longer interested. And Crystal, if nothing else, like I said, not one of my faves, but she absolutely earned my interest in seeing where she goes. And I'm somebody who doesn't mind if somebody who's not one of my faves makes it to the finale because they're really good. At the time, Detox was not one of my faves. I've come to fall in love with her, but that season, watching it for the first time, Detox was not one of my faves up until we got towards the finale, and I saw a bunch of stuff towards the end that I really liked, and I was very convinced by her. But yeah, I mean, I'm for me, it is a different bummer than what you're saying, than what you're talking about. Like, unfortunately, being a New Englander, Corey King is not my Boston queen that I'm rooting for to go to the top.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like a down-ass Dunkin' Donuts bitch like I thought she'd be.
But there have been times where, my darling Juju B will always be a Boston girl. Katya will always be a Boston girl to me. So, I root for those girls. But I can still see when somebody, to me, making great TV isn't always that you're messy in the workroom. Sometimes for me, making great TV can be, I see your skill set and I want to see how you stand up to the 25 different challenges that the show is going to put in front of you.
Agreed. And I think also one of the things that I think for me is really standing out when it's looking at the season, because I did watch all of these seasons within a year and it was a lot, but it made it also, it seemed very immediate, and it's easier for me to tell when things have shifted. And I think now we are hiding the girls who aren't as talented in challenges. They're getting further because the runway packages have gotten to such a high level that everyone's runway is going to be excellent. It's just about whether or not they executed it well in the theme and the judges get it. And so it's hiding a lot of things. Whereas before, usually your runways were more uneven unless you were a very specific kind of fashion girl. And so you could really be like, okay, well, she's doing really well in the challenges, but the runways are kind of meh, this is why she's safe. And but now we're really just being like, Lana looks really good on the runway, which normally means she'd be like a queen that we would keep around, but nothing else matches that. And everyone else looks just as good. So what is being brought? What is being brought?
Other than the fact that in her confessional look, she looks like a character from Pokemon Concierge. I don't know. Pokemon Concierge.
When is season 2 of Pokemon Concierge coming out?
I swear to God, it's like, I think all 5 of us can agree it's the happiest show in the world.
Oh, I cried the whole time. Sobbed like a baby.
I told these guys how excited I was leading up to it that week, and they were here that week, and they were like, oh, we're really excited. And it's the best show. Anyway, so we got a few more things we're going to talk about this episode. So I've already given all my final thoughts. I have nothing more to add. I want to just say one nice thing about somebody we didn't talk much about, actually. I want to just put out there that a lot of these girls did a lot of work to craft characters. And I found that while Acacia Forgot did not impress me the way I wanted her to, I saw range here. I saw something developable.
Okay.
Where you can see that this is such a fucking naturally talented person. What a naturally talented who's fucking gorgeous. I mean, this man is so hot. He's like so hot and so talented. I swear, if he could just get the exposure and the access that somebody like a Bianca, a Trixie, and a Dor have gotten, I probably want better for him than an Adore. No offense, sweetheart, but I just really liked what I saw in her range here, and I look forward to much more.
Yeah, I was very fascinated that we kept Lexi Love as an extra judge criticism conversation.
Yep. Think about
Because
how
we
many
had
times in the history of the show we've ever kept 7 girls on stage.
Usually you
was
only
a-
keep 7 when you have 7.
Right.
Well, I
Or
think
when
that
you're
even
throwing them
speaks
all
to-
out.
I think that even speaks to this is 11 girls. This
11
was so many on
girls.
stage at once.
Yeah.
It's
This is
so
7-Eleven.
many.
All
It's so
Slurpee.
many.
Slurpee
So I
Day.
also think like that's why Snatch Game feels weird is we didn't even have enough time to spend with like the
Yeah.
good ones.
It was really the edit was really frenetic.
It was really thin. And so I was really fascinated by Lexi. I don't think she was there are some people who are like she's in the top because she wasn't in the bottom. And I was like, no, I think she was just there because they needed to talk about it or else it would have dominated the entirety of Untucked and they just wanted to pet their pretty, say she didn't do as bad as she thought, and send her on her way.
I think it's because they want us to see Lexi doing much better than she's doing. When she's killing the competition, by the way. I love this queen so much, but truly, you flopped and we loved it is a critique of all time. That's
one
Here's
that's gonna
the
go
only thing I will
down.
say. They have so many times told queens it was so bad you were almost there. They've said it about performances, they've said it about looks. This is so rotten, it almost goes around to amazing, but it's not quite there. You're in the bottom. And it was so bad I almost laughed, but I didn't laugh. And this is, to my memory, one of very few, if not actually the first time they have ever said to somebody, it was in fact so bad that we were amused. I do agree with Tori that it was more about just, it was such a unique thing. They had to address it in some capacity. But I even wish they had like stayed to mark a little bit what the thing was, which is like, Lana's was so bad because she just froze, and when a thing came up and she didn't, when the joke got used by somebody else, she had nothing and she just froze and she didn't say anything, or she said something really milquetoast and boring. Lana kept going, oh fuck my life, and like Lexi kept kind of performing and being somebody and being something when she was absolutely flopping, which that might have been the lesson. Like, you have
Where was this love for mayhem with the gong? I mean,
yeah. Hold on. We're wrapping around to that. That mayhem's thing was not the best, but it was damn entertaining, and she got sent home.
Oh my god!
I was personally not entertained by that. I hear what you're saying, and I felt like RuPaul was not either.
I immediately love this comment. It helped that that's how Gilbert would react at that moment. You know what? Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
It did
Yes,
feel very in
it's
character, even
it's
though
It's
it
like
was not
the vibes stayed. Like
exactly.
She was in
Broke
character the entire
character.
time. Even
Yeah.
flopping, she was in character. So we had to
Yeah.
wait for that.
She was in character, and the character was not Gilbert Gottfried, but that was okay too.
How many of them were? How many of them were?
Right. Similarly, I mean, I believe that Lexi has watched Gilbert Gottfried and just could not do the voice for some reason, but can't believe she didn't. Yeah, I don't know. This was.
She also specifically name checked Iago from Aladdin, which fair, but like, I don't think Rue has watched Aladdin.
No, absolutely not.
I don't think
I
we
hate
know
that my
the
laugh
name.
is basically a Yago. Okay. Final thoughts on this before we talk about some other shit.
Do something different. Do any other thing. Do a different thing. Don't do Snatch Game next year, please. I'm begging you. Just do something else.
We do Hollywood Squares, or is that?
That's what I was
trademark
thinking.
mark?
Please.
Gets the
I
square.
just while I
like
was
that more than love.
You would just call it
Whatever.
Hollywood Queers, right?
Yeah, like Rulywood Squares. It's not, it's not
Yeah.
the same. But I watched. Was with my mom a couple weeks ago, and Hollywood Squares was on, and RuPaul was in it, and I'm like watching it, and I'm like, oh, this needs a better host and
Yeah.
better guests. This
Who's
is
the
not
host?
as good as it should be. A young black gentleman whose name is currently escaping me.
But the executive producer is Drew Barrymore, and
I
she's
know,
the center
who's the
square.
circle.
Also, I just want to say, Tori, RuPauliwood Squares.
Yes.
Hollywood Squares. There
Well, not RuPaul.
because it can't be RuPaul Hollywood because that's a different baker.
Okay.
Oh,
Jonah, what
it's a
you
guy
got?
who's a football commentator, so he's not.
No,
Okay, anyway.
you're good. Everyone's
Ah.
good. Overall,
I hate
episode was still entertaining by virtue of this cast being insanely entertaining. Snatch Game could have been better, but we can say that about any challenge. Blah blah blah. I was actually pleasantly surprised by Corey King's Big Ange, who I'm going to admit this on air. I have degrees of separation from my family with Big Ange. I'm not related to her, but like my family was friends with her. So like,
All right.
Go off, King.
but I wish like she's just she
Brings
and
up candy
Acacia
beans.
for people who might have done better, but they didn't showcase a lot. We got one answer from them, which is what they typically do for people who are safe, who aren't in the top or the bottom. They only show them like one answer. They did it last season. They do it every season, and sometimes it gets a little annoying because I want to see how everybody does it because everybody gets asked all the questions.
Yeah.
Who does it like the actual match game, which is she goes down the line and says, "So what say you?" You know, Big Ange.
Bitch must get tired.
Well, she needs a nap. You know, she is 400. But I don't think the game of Snatch Game is wrong. It's just, I don't know. I feel like to these girls, and especially because it's a very young cast, again, celebrity impersonation isn't that vital to younger drag queens right now, outside of the ones that go way of Jinx a la, theater school, where having an impersonation, being able to do a character is probably really important for that sort of style of acting and sort of like drag persona that you're trying to create. But, and that's why I think Anya did so well, because Anya is a theater queen. And so I think if you're not a theater queen, or you are and you think Snatch Game is about an impersonation and it's not a comedy challenge, I think go to an improv class. Just literally find someone that you love and go, okay, what's the height? Do the drag version of that. What is the height and exaggeration of this person? How do you make it drag?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, again, I don't think it's easy. I give everybody respect and love and kudos, mama, for sitting there for, like I said, 2 hours in a cold room and you saying a response and no one laughing and you have no idea how to
Kudos for shivering.
Yes.
You know what? I love this, and I'm gonna transition us. We can always come back. But I do want to say, we actually had Kevo, me, and Jonah flew out to Vegas for the week for Diva Las Vegas, a celebration of all the best things about what was going on in Vegas this week. We did the Janet Jackson residency on Wednesday. We did Drag Race Live on Thursday, and we did Valentine's Day with Mimi. I can't even begin to talk about that one. But so we did the meet and greet. And so we were lucky enough to see, as this photo shows, Asia, who everybody knows is a longtime #1 of mine. Man, that finale was traumatizing for me. I had no idea. Morphine, Yara Sofia, who this is actually, all of us have seen Yara Sofia more than any other girl on the show ever.
Yeah, apparently.
Plain and Jada. What I do want to say is there's one lady who is not here. We were lucky enough to be at a show where Peppermint just happened to be in the motherfucking audience. And Peppermint was cool enough to go up and do the audience participation segment on stage, just full fucking pep on stage for 10 goddamn minutes, being amazing and funny. Her and Asia being friends, riffing together. Asia giving Pep her kudos as an advocate, protecting her communities. And then because Jonah, Kevo, and I were lucky enough to do the meet and greet this trip, it was my birthday after all. Thanks, boys. The coolest thing in the world was Peppermint hung out at the meet and greet, asked if she could go first, and then just hung out with everybody the entire meet and greet anyway to thank us for letting her cut the line.
Aww.
And promoted that she's going to be on the second season of a new Netflix show called Survival of the Thickest. Check it out. And super excited about it. And she was amazing. Every one of these girls were amazing. I got to tell Asia what she means to me. And I just want to be like, when you tell someone that they're so special to you and they've never met you, it's creepy. And you could see from that photo, Asia literally just held me and like made me feel special for telling her she made me feel stronger. And like, fuck, this was like such a great night. The show was so great. If you guys get out to Vegas, get any seat just to be there. Hey, and thank you, Colin. Happy belated B-Day, he says. I want to say thank you to everybody hanging out in the chat tonight. Andrew, as always, number one fan, super extraordinaire. Colin, Andres, and Jimmy. Hey, guys, what's up? But yeah, great show. Anytime you guys get out to Vegas, you guys should see it. It's so special. This was my second time seeing Janet. It was so good. She's everything to me. And then it was my first time seeing Mimi. It was so good. She was everything to me. And so like I had a great Diva in Las Vegas, guys. Thanks. It was so cool. We stayed at Excalibur. We stayed at the Hilton. We hung out in New York. We hung out at the park at the Grand. We ate at some fine dining. We got to see legendary Top Chef superstar Jeremy Ford hanging out in his restaurant. It was.
Can we quickly tell that story?
Oh, please! By all means,
the weirdest day. Well,
we walk up to Jeremy Ford's restaurant in the specific venue in Vegas. He has a location called Stubborn Seat,
which I mean, named for me.
Yeah, our first day there, we had just checked in, so we are, jet lagged, tired, but we're exploring, we're excited.
We're walking around the resort, we're looking at different places we want to try while we're there, and so we're looking at the menu, and we're like, oh, let's come do this next time. And we're looking at the bottom, it says, by Jeremy Ford, and at one point, Nico asked, hey, do you guys want to eat here? And I was like, are we appropriately dressed for it? Because I thought, some of these places, being in the resort, you might have to have a little bit more, dressed a little bit more up. And Nico looks inside and goes, well, that guy's in a t-shirt and a ball cap. I think we're fine. And I just go, oh, that's Jeremy Ford. That's the guy who owns the restaurant.
His picture is on the menu outside the restaurant. So I'm looking at the menu, looking over at him. I'm looking back, and I'm like, are we sure? And we saw him like 3 more times that weekend. I think he had dinner at the same restaurant as us. So...
but nice. Such a fabulous time. Had dinner at Brezza and had the signature Janet cocktail, the Velvet Rope, because I had a special need to feel the way I liked. And it was an amazing trip. But definitely go out and see these girlies. We saw the show last year with Bosco, and we were lucky enough to see Kennedy one night. Jojo, I know you got to see Deja. We saw Mirage. So many incredible girls, and to see Morphine step into the role, Morphine fucking slayed. It was nuts. She is a guy. Vanjie and Morphine are probably the 2 girls. Oh, and Asia's number is signature. But I don't know. This show is so great. Please don't miss it.
I got to tell Morphine that she was really stunningly beautiful in person, and she gave me an extra hug. So like I got to kiki with playing Jada a little bit, and it was quite possibly the best thing that's ever happened to me. They are very
funny in front of his daddies.
What can I say?
When I told
and this is not a parasocial. I do not know Jada. I do not know her personally. None of that. But Jada, like, I don't know, maybe I just walked up to him and was like, I love you guys so much. Thank you, for everything that you guys do. And I apologize, I'm just a little starstruck right now. And she goes, I'm starstruck. And Jada just kind of has this essence, if you will, of just kind of like making you feel comfortable. Even though I don't know her, she doesn't know me, but it was really, really warm.
Doing this meet and greet, really the energy that I got from these girls, and I mean this in the most complimentary way possible. It was more than like meeting like film or television celebrities. It was like stage dooring. It was like meeting a theater performer. It reminded me of the energy that you would have after your high school play got finished and you were tired but wired and you were ready to go home. When I walked up to Yara and Morphine, at first they were chit-chatting together, and Morphine realized what she was doing and was like, oh my God, I'm being so rude. I'm so sorry. I was like, you worked all night. I get it. It's completely okay. But they were so polite, so friendly, so engaged, and clearly so excited that people were excited to meet them. And like when I told Morphine we're from Jersey, the first thing she says is, oh, like Crystal Envy. I really was not expecting that. And it was, even, Yara was a little, Yara. She put her fan in front of my face for the picture.
Yara is really just that crazy in real life. She's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, she's so wild.
She was just being silly and funny, and there was no actual malice.
Yeah,
no, it was the sweetest interaction, and we're gonna do a longer video that we still yet owe from our first performance of Drag Race Live. When we knew we were going to do another performance, we wanted to wait and be able to roll all of it into one. But we're having such a good time seeing these performers live. It is always so worthwhile, and this experience of getting to interact with them made it even more worthwhile.
And speaking of more worthwhile,
and speaking of interacting with queens,
I just want to say it was fascinating that nobody's queen. Nobody got to meet anybody on their team. But
no, just that we met two draftees, though. We did.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are very excited. It's time for some Draft Race Live. I had a little bit to do with writing this episode. It does not give me any advantages. Kevo took all of the stuff that Tori and I have been cooking up, and he made a special secret document I'm not allowed to look at, so I don't have any of the answers. But I did put in some jokes that I know that my brother is going to message me and I'm a fucking moron, and I'm really excited about it. So, Kevo, am I reading the previously, or do you want to read it?
It's up to you. I feel like you might have more fun with it, but I can.
Well, I'll just get us moving real quick because I already have it up and I'm ready to go. And I guess I want to. So, previously on Draft Race Live, in the mini challenge, Jonah won an all-star badge and gave it to Rose during the mini challenge for a producer's game of superlatives. Then the drama was that the winner of the maxi challenge would get double badges, one to give out. Nymphia from Team Jonah and Saphira from Team Nico. How did this happen? Did a lip sync for the crown, and it went to Nymphia. Then Roxy from Team Tori and Katya from Team TK faced off, with the win going to Roxy. Double wins resulted in extra all-star badges. The current standings are Nico, 1 badge to Saphira. Jonah's team has 1 badge for Rose and 1 badge for Nymphia. Jonah being the first episode's only double winner. That's a Lucy statistic. TK has 1 badge for Katya, and Tori has 1 badge for Roxy. And we are going in for some Draft Race Live. Today, I am really excited. The girls are funneling into the workroom. Everybody's all sorts of excited. Kevo, do you want to tell us what the mini challenge is called? Because I want someone else to have to say this word.
Oh God. I have to get down to where we are. I'm sorry. Producing makes it really difficult to navigate script.
Yeah, but
I'm always ready. I'm ready. Anyone's ready?
Okay.
It's called horoscopes.
Oh yes, horoscopes. I'm so sorry.
So I had Kevo look them up. I don't know them, but guys, we're gonna have to guess Drag Race related celebrities' star signs, and the first one to 3 points or the most points at the end of the list wins. The reason this is fair, even though I made this, is it turns out I only know 5 star signs. So we're not in trouble.
Wow. Raise your hand if you know more than 5. All right, let's kill him.
Okay, let's do this. Kevin, whenever you're ready, call him out.
All right.
Wait, how are we answering?
We're gonna say him out loud, and Kevo knows the answer, and he'll say who gets the points.
All right.
I mean, you can change your answer, but just stick with it. Just believe in yourself.
Okie doke.
But are we taking turns?
Yeah, we'll just go down the list.
And are we all guessing everybody, or are we all guessing our own girls?
No, we're all no. Kevo has a list of celebrities.
Okay.
Because I didn't think all of these girls' birthdays would be publicly available, so I gave Kevo a list of celebrities to look the birthdays up of.
Got it. Okay, it's okay. All right.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm still working with this format stuff. Hang on.
No
It's
problem.
going great.
All right.
What are the 5 signs that Nico knows?
We're gonna find out.
That
in a
is going
second.
to be a great question. Well,
Fuck,
first
because
up,
there's 6 people in the list.
I also looked up 2 extras just in case.
Ooh.
Oh shit. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm
And they're
ready,
on
ready.
brand, don't worry. So the first person is the mother herself, RuPaul Andre Charles.
I'm locked in.
Jonah.
Let's do this.
I'm locked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're all in.
Okay.
Okay, I guessed Virgo.
No.
Taurus.
No.
It's Scorpio.
It is
It
a
is.
Scorpio. She was born in November.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one I thought it was. Oh fuck, I got them confused. Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine. I'm so bad at star signs.
Okay. Next up is Ross Matthews.
Oh, I don't know this one.
Oh, interesting.
All right.
Okay, I think
Promoted.
he's a Pisces, which I spelled pieces.
No.
Sag.
No.
Taurus?
Nope.
I believe he's a Leo.
Nope. Libra.
Ah.
Oh, so far it's Nico 0, TK 0, Tori 1, and Jonah 1.
Yes.
Woo.
All right. Next up, we have Trixie Mattel.
Oh, this I know.
Yeah, this I know too.
I want her to be an Aquarius like me. So I'm saying it. I'm locked in, but I want her to be an Aquarius like me because after Tori dubbed it to me, I want like jerseys that say Trixie Mattel Try Hard. Like I just want that to be like I just want that tattooed on my body.
Same.
This is another reason that we didn't need to worry about Nico with this game because he's not even actually playing. He's just saying things he wants to say.
He's just saying
Everyone locked
shit.
in?
All right, so he said Aquarius.
wrong.
TK,
That's
TK,
wrong.
what you got?
Gemini.
No.
Virgo.
Nope.
She's a
She
Leo.
is a Virgo.
Yes, she is.
She's a Leo.
No, she's a Virgo. She's
The
August
23rd.
23rd. She's a Virgo. She thought she was a Leo for forever until an episode of where it was revealed that she is an August 23rd a Virgo.
I'm going to take a second to decide if we are going to go with Tori's dates or the dates that Judge Kevo decided,
August 23rd,
because
1989.
Those are very frequently different on different lists.
I just give
But
it
I'm
a
not
fair.
saying her
I
birthday
mean,
is wrong. I'm
no,
saying whether or
it's
not I
true.
agree that
Virgo does move around.
Yeah.
Like these dates do kind of
That's
move
nuts.
around.
She is a cusp date, so
Yeah.
it is.
You know, give it both the points. Who cares?
August 23, 1989, astrology.
So it's I would just give it to why are you going so Ken
Virgo.
Jennings? Like this is
Then do it.
RuPaul rules.
Because you asked the 2 people who are the most obsessed with statistics to figure this one out. And that's on you, bud.
Queen wins. End of day.
There we go to the next one. Did you guys
Jonah
decide?
is right. She did think she was
Okay.
a Leo for forever.
So I'm just giving it 3-3 for now. If it comes to a tie, who cares?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, that's
Nico, can you
3-3.
jump?
No, it should be. Tori and I should each have 2.
We should each have 2 because
Oh,
we don't know
good.
who Ross Matthews is.
Oh,
Jonah,
right.
you have an
thank
extra one. You got Trixie. Oh no, wait, I'm confused. I put it
That's
on
0022. It's fine.
Yeah.
I put stuff under Jinx preemptively. Who is the next one, by the way? Jinx Monsoon. Jinx. Yeah,
Let
shut
me
up.
go before Tori if Tori's confident, so this way I can't steal her answer. Because I don't think that would be fair.
Okay, I think I think this is one.
Ooh. All
Okay.
right, Nico, what do you got?
Cancer, right? That's one.
That is one.
It is one. It was not the one.
It is
TK.
not the one.
Pisces.
No.
This is
I'm
another
going out on a
Virgo.
limb.
Oh,
I'm going
yeah,
to
go
guess
ahead.
She's a Virgo.
Yeah,
Yep.
she is. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I really know the Virgo ones because I keep them in a little locket inside of my heart where I'm like, my Virgo queens, all of them.
As opposed to Virgo Queen.
Who just won?
Yeah.
So now we have 2.
All right. Well, you guys are tied. TK could come from the back. He's good at that.
I thought it was first to 3.
But they're tied.
So are we gonna keep going, or are they?
No, they tie break.
Are they doing a sudden death?
But we're still going. You can keep going too.
Okay.
You can abstain. You could just be like Centauri.
Well, either way, let's get it going.
So Nico tried to sneak one in, who is my enemy, so I'm skipping her.
Damn it! But Vanessa Williams matters.
Tough. Instead, let's go with T.S. Madison. Everyone lock.
I think let's do this.
The only other one I know, I think she's a Sagittarius.
No.
Oh, fuck.
Scorpio?
No.
Cool.
Jonah, do you know this one?
No, I don't.
Neither do I. I'm going to say Pisces. Jonah, what you
Nope.
got?
I was gonna say a Taurus, but I don't think that's right.
No. Oh, okay. So we're going to have to do another one. Andrew, if this is a guess rather than trying to give an answer, what I have is no, not Leo. I have Libra. When upon Googling, the birthday given is October 22nd. So Scorpio is close. I still refuse to do Vanessa Williams unless I have to. So instead, let's go with a nice Michelle Visage.
Aquarius.
No.
TK, what you got?
Capricorn.
No.
Is that really
Jonah?
one of them?
She's
Yes.
a Virgo.
Yeah, she is a Virgo.
Vanessa.
You gotta pick a non-Virgo because I have those literally written on on my arm forever.
That is really fair. What?
Can I, in the effort of making we're using in my bid for Miss Congeniality, can I give this win to Tori? Because Tori is our astrology girly. And, it's still early in the competition. I don't need to win 2 weeks in a row.
I'm not sure if that's
we both won the challenge last week. We won the lip sync.
All right. Well, then I love that. And that actually gives Tori then the drama advantage. So Tori, your mini challenge victory gives you an advantage in the maxi challenge. This week, the maxi challenge is group improv. We're going to be participating in Must She TV. Instead of friends, we've got gals. Instead of Will and Grace, we've got willful and graceless. Instead of The Office, we've got office gossip. Instead of Mad About You, we've got Mad About Everything. And instead of Frasier, we've got Hot Gay Frasier.
Ooh.
He's real proud of that.
And so I get to pick?
Tori, your advantage as the winner of the Maxi Challenge, so the mini challenge, is you get to pick your show, whereas everybody else's is going to be randomized in order. So Tori, after you pick your show, you're going to pick who goes next, and they'll randomly get one of these shows. Everybody will get time to Wikipedia, and then we're going to sort of do a quick, silly, basic version. Nobody has to make it good. We're not the writers. We're just here to say how funny we'd find the girls in Friends, or just like a quick, oh my God, wouldn't it be funny? And then this person, Andrew, coming in with Gazier. I love it. Thank you, Andrew. So this is Must She TV, and I'm so excited about it. Tori, gals, willful and graceless, office gossip, mad about everything, and Hot Gazier, which is yours? Who are you submitting with your 3 girls that you're picking this week?
The 3 girls that I am picking this week. Yes. I am going
to... save your girls. Take a second, but pick your show.
Yeah, I know. Well, I got to think about my girls to think about my show. Don't you believe? There's a difference. between Hot Guy Fraser, etceteras. Because of the girls that I am choosing, I am going to go with. I'm gonna go with office gossip.
I love it. All right. So Tori is going to take office gossip. Tori, who are you picking to get their show randomly chosen next?
I am gonna go with. I'm gonna make Nico.
Great. In the interest of fairness, I have labeled the remaining choices, and I'm going to go to Google and roll a D4 because there's 4 choices remaining. And so I will get my random choice that way. All right. I got gals. All right. So I got gals. Terrific.
Gals.
I'm going to pick TK next. I'm going to pick TK next. Jonah should go last because he is baby.
Do you want to just roll for me?
Oh, I'm going to roll right for you. All right. TK, you got Fraser.
Nice.
Hot
Hot Gay Fraser?
Yep. TK got
Yeah,
Hot
okay.
Fraser. And JoJo, that does in fact leave you with Will and Graceless. So,
The only one he hasn't seen. Great.
well, no, I don't think he knows that much about Mad About You either.
That is really fair.
So, okay. So now it's time to take a look at our girls and think about who we might want to cast in the show. So take a look at your girls, take a look at their stats, and think about who you might want to use. You know, remember, Tori, what category does this fall into?
Category is nerve.
Absolutely. I believe that is 1000% correct. Acting
It is.
challenge.
It is. I see it with my own two eyes, not 4, not yet.
I'm so glad because I keep putting people on the spot and everybody panics.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So, I am here to lead the brigade because one of the rules is you cannot enter all of the same girls week to week. So this week, I cannot use one of the girls that I used last week. And so I think this week I'm going to use Miss Vanjie, Saphira, and Raja O'Hara.
All right. I, for my wonderful little office gossip choice, will be using Chanel, Roxy, and Shay.
Ooh, love that. I'm keeping track of all this whenever anybody's ready. So I'm here to play.
Who's next?
I'm gonna go with Bob, Katya, and Willow.
Ooh. And that leaves our resident baby Cupid because he's the youngest and oh so lovely.
I'm a baby. I am using Rose, Trinity, and Bianca Del Rio.
Ooh. I gotta be honest, guys. I would watch this night of comedy without any question. I am so here for it. I'm going to give everybody a minute to Google whatever they need to Google to look up these shows to figure out how they want to say it, right? And to remind you guys at home, the way this is going to work is we're going to each pitch our little things, and then we're going to secretly vote. We're going to tally up the votes. The votes are going to be based on everybody's placements, as well as our unique scoring metric that allows for certain people to have what are considered top scores, top third percent scores. So we're going to find out who is each girl's top performer, and they will be entered in a lip sync where they will compete, number one, with a D20, and then number two, their lip sync stat applied as well. As you can see, our stats are all listed. Kebo, do you happen to have an individual person's card available?
Yeah.
So when we're talking about these stats, for instance, Miss Vanjie, who was my first pick. So Miss Vanjie was round 1, first pick. So girl went from pork chop to living that fucking life, right? Her charisma score is a 9, her uniqueness is an 18, her nerve is a 12, and her talent is an 11. But her cumulative lip sync wins is a 1. So while she's got great stats, she's not the girl I want in the lip sync. Oh shit. Okay. Well. And so that is how it's gonna work. Now I'm ready to pitch my story when you guys are ready to listen, but I don't want to rush anybody if you're not ready to listen, if you're still thinking.
Need like a little more thinky time.
Oh no, absolutely.
What caused you to choose these options for our options?
Well, so I wanted to use the phrase must-see TV because it's too good. And I wanted to use shows that were specifically must-see TV. And the number of those that don't involve a hideously problematic actor are really, really small. And so that made it really easy in the first place. The Office is actually the last season of must-see TV. So The Office is 6 episodes, or 6 of the last 10 broadcasts of must-see TV ever. Really fascinating. And I wanted to use something that is common vernacular across the world, and that's fucking sitcoms. That's laughing.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to say is if you do go to the Vegas show and you go to the Flamingo, do make sure to hit up the Workroom, which is the name of the cute little store. We actually took photos in the Workroom mirrors, and it turns out when we get in front of the mirror and do our little Workroom poses, each one of us has our own little pose that we unleash.
Yeah.
And we had a great time. But the store is cute. The stuff is cute. I mean, obviously it's Vegas, so like the Juniors is the cheapest cheesecake in Vegas really says something. But you know, but yeah, everyone should really check it out there. There's some great stuff. They've even got like crazy stuff. I've been telling TK about it. There's a special limited edition vinyl of the Frock Destroyers, and they have that for sale. And so it's a lot of fun. I'm not like shilling. I'm just like saying because I know we all want the merch.
We love that merch. We love it.
Oh, those are our photos.
Ah, cute.
That's me.
There's mine. Oh, and there's our sweet little baby. I was gonna bring it up on from the drive like before, but this was instead a reminder to go follow us on Blue Sky, where we are parking.
We are having a great time over on Blue Sky, and we hope you join us. All right, I think I'm gonna get us a rollin'.
Let's do this.
Get this roast a cooking. Over on Gals, I really see it focused around Saphira's neurotic Monica, while Raja is the sexy fashionista Rachel, and Miss Vanjie is just the most deranged, insane version of Phoebe you've ever seen. Just coming around shouting about the cab, and like just being insane and wonderful. I see them getting up to a lot closer to living single kind of hijinks. But I would imagine the adorable sketch would be filled with the most silly, draggiest references to Rachel hair. No, I get to wear the Rachel hair. No, I get to wear the Rachel hair. And lots of wigs, lots of fun. And I just feel like it would be a good time.
Sure.
Nice.
Who's going next?
Can I go?
Oh, go.
Yes.
So I got Will and Graceless, starring Rose as Will Truewoman, Trinity as Graceless Adler, and Bianca Del Rio as Karen Sissy That hyphenated Walker. And the episode follows them doing wacky hijinks of physical comedy through Karen just kind of entering and stealing the scene as she normally does. I think this would be I don't know, they probably could just do a Will and Grace challenge and it probably would fit pretty well into what they actually do. I imagine Rose can really play the uptight, obsessive character very well. Trinity can play the wacky, kind of selfish, like, I'm in it for me, but also I'm adorable. And Bianca just comes in to steal the scene.
Jojo, down to the names, I am so here to watch your sketch. 1,000%. That just, Jojo, you just unleashed your yes and.
Hooray.
Yay!
Who's next?
For me, I have office gossip.
Oh.
We have Chanel coming in playing kind of in that Dwight figure. We've got Shay just mugging into the camera as Jim, and then we've got Roxy playing kind of that Pam at the desk kind of straight person to the wackiness around her. And I think it's gonna be a heavy like pranking each other thing between the three of them, going round and round, one of those kinds of episodes that I think we'll really get to enjoy seeing Chanel just chewing the scenery as this Dwight character. Lots of times for Shay to mug at the camera really quick, and plenty of time for Roxy to be just like dazzling and gorgeous, and then all of a sudden instead of Pam's characteristic sweetness, just come out with those look the same and be really bitchy about it. So that's what we're bringing, and they're feeling pretty pleased with themselves right about now.
I love that. I never would have seen Chanel as the Dwight, and that totally changed the game for me. Like Trinity as Satan. Like that is like so fun and like transformative.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. All right, TK, you have
So I've got Gager, and Katya is of course Gager. Willow Pill stars as her sister Piles, and Bob is her co-host Riz. And we get a special guest appearance this episode from Lawrence Chaney as Daphne. And
Yeah,
so,
I'll allow it.
And so, of course, we start out with Gager and Riz taking a call. And, of course, the callers are RuPaul and Michelle Visage and Ross Matthews. And later, Piles comes in, and he's trying to figure out how to confess his love for Daphne, who bursts into the office because there's a problem with the dad. Hijinks ensue, but the budget is low, so we never move out of this one set.
Oh,
Smart.
Amazing.
guys, I love these shows. This is the improv challenge they got to do. This is must-see TV, guys. What an amazing time. All right, so what's going to happen next is everybody send your votes to me, rank the girls, inter-producer, and let me know. And we will come up with every girl's top number ones, and we will factor in those oh God, I do it every time. Charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. It's because this thing is so creative, and all of these girls are so creative, and we love them so.
It's true.
And man, guys, I love your pitches. Every one of them is amazing. I think what I love the most about these challenges is the way they have revealed which girls are funny in ways you never expected. Which girls have hidden levels and hidden depth that really transform how they do humor. You know, when I first met Jinx, I appropriately thought she was Witchy Poo from HR Puff and stuff. And now I've come to understand she is a little bit more like the McDonald's land creature that time forgot. And she's a different kind of magic. And that's what these acting challenges always reveal for me. They always reveal the ways these girls have these other layers. They're different kinds of magic. and that's really the special part for me, right? And so when it comes to the acting challenges, this is a little bit more the freedom, the expression, the excitement that I was hoping for than Snatch Game that we got this week. And of course, like the Snatch Game we got this week was real girls being real, and this is our most loving imaginations of girls we think are incredible. And that's not exactly real life, but that's a little bit what's kind of special about this. Now, okay, I want to know. I'm not offended because mine was the least pitched out, so like, don't pick me. It's fine. But who's excited to watch one of these?
I mean, I'm real excited for Gager, and I mean, and also to watch Bianca Del Rio be Karen Walker. I'll be fine.
I mean, gals is the classic Drag Race do. We got to have gals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just filling out the numbers so other people got to talk while I do the tallying. It's just kind of how it works.
Sure. For sure.
I was most impressed by the Will and Grace and the Frasier, I think. Kudos, boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really smart with the names. Fergie and Lawrence Chaney. Excellent work.
I'd thought about saying that your fourth girl was non-judged and was just in it as an additional character if you need, but I'm like, at that point, I'm like, this is the expansion. This is this is too much. We're adding mods. Everybody's getting lost in the sauce.
Fun new twist to play. If you're in the UK, COVID shuts you down.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the other big things is we are super excited to cut these out and put them into their own special episodes. And so I'm really excited about that as well. So the other thing that's really exciting about the acting challenges when it's girls who feel comfortable with acting is like, I love a revealed character on Snatch Game, like when somebody shows like really cool talent. But when you see somebody sink into a role and have a good time, it's so much more fun.
Yes, watching Simone kill the factory owner is just such a delicious piece that I think really, really makes you fall in love with her and root for her to win.
Good Lord.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I know we had a couple of people who drafted along and have been playing rounds with us. Does our captive audience have anyone they think would be killer at this, or a drag queen they think would fit into one of the shows that we pitched?
Yes, or please feel free to pitch your own shows, preferably Must She TV. Hold on, I'm trying. But if you want to pitch something for STG TV, that's Swear to God TV, or any other lineup that you want to make up, we'd love to hear what sitcoms ideas you have for your own girlies.
Ooh.
I love that. And so I'm just about done tallying up all the numbers, and we will have those scores to you guys. This is actually not as hard as I thought it'd be. It's a little hard being like, guys, talk for me. But like, other than that, and that's just because like you guys don't know when I'm going to be good to talk.
But Nico said something to me earlier about the fact that we have training wheels on this right now. He was like, "This is our season 1 filter," and you know what? Yeah. We're learning and building this game live for and with you, and I'm having fun. Is everyone else having fun?
Yeah, I definitely think this is like the Dungeons and Dragons part of it, where we're like picking our own destinies and explaining how we would do this. And finally, you too at home can finally learn what it's like to absolutely panic at the thought of what would I do with the Office themed group improv drag challenge. And the answer is come up with something pretty basic.
We had so many comments about Snatch Game this week. Let's see what happens when it's our job to come up with fake live on the spot Snatch Games.
I mean, I can't wait for when we have to do the girl group challenge and come up with our own songs.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's the fun of my life right now. I'm really excited about that, actually. All right, and now we are putting in the bonus points as a result of the CUNT scores for anybody who gets bonuses for those. So
sometimes we like to talk about it, but like because all those points we put them together, there's a cheat sheet so that you can say, hey, this person is like the top point getter in that category, and so they do a little bit better than those who don't have as many points in their things. But when weighed against judges' votes and lip sync votes, etc., it kind of all evens out. You can be someone who didn't do well on the show, who can do well amongst the fans. Crystal,
like our full cunt Trinity.
Yes.
I do love pointing out that she has a full cunt at being in a top 3 of all 4.
Yep.
all right,
Yes.
I am putting in the last numbers now, and I am ready to reveal the winners. Oh man, Jonah, you have a unique situation, I think. Hold on.
Oh wow.
Uh-oh, Pescadios.
Yeah, Jonah, you have a unique situation. Okay, so my lip syncer is going to be Saphira.
Ooh.
For the Uncredible team, Tori. Tori, your lip syncer by a hair is going to be Shea Coulee.
Ooh. She don't miss.
No, she don't. TK, your lip syncer is going to be the unforgettable Katya.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it, I'm losing again.
Yeah, it's that nerve score is really high for Jada. And I was like, oh, I wish I had Jada in here. I also wish I had played someone different ultimately as well. Okay. But Jojo, you have a tie between Trinity and Bianca. It was originally Bianca, but Trinity's special unique score, it gives her a bonus, and so because she's got that full cunt, she throws off the numbers. So baby, who are you entering into the lip sync? Look at the numbers.
Baloney!
Trinity Chuck Taylor has lost more than Bianca Del Rio has even been in.
So that makes our final lip syncs Saphira, Shea, Katya, and Trinity.
Woo!
In the, can anybody remind me how we picked did I just pair them
No.
off last time?
You said Trinity, not Trinity. Bianca.
Bianca, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, man, that's what a ruism. I forgot which one's which. So can anybody remind me how we picked who faced off against who?
I think you just picked them, Beb.
That's what I did, right? And so I'm going to do the same thing because this is the order they're on in my sheet. So that's going to be what it is. It's going to be Saphira versus Shea and Katya versus Bianca. So
Woo!
everybody
Looks pretty fairly.
break. Andrew says, I think you did a D4.
Well, you already named the pairs. We'll do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Andrew, thank you. Andrew, you're so much better than us at this. Thank you. Okay.
Someone's got to keep us honest.
So
All right, Nico, you ready to rumble?
I'm ready to rumble.
All right, here we go. Let's roll this dice. 3.
Holy
2.
shit! Sorry.
All right, well, Shay
I-
got a 4, so I have 8 points.
I literally shrieked because I rolled a 20.
Good for you.
Yay!
I shrieked.
TK, what'd you
Wow. Well, Shay, that's the worst experience of my life. As the person helping produce Saphira, I just imaginarily had Saphira defeat Shay in a lip sync. That's like picking who was better, Mariah or Janet. This is just impossible.
It's fine. She's really good at losing in the semifinals.
Oh my God! I guess the library's open.
She's used to it.
All right. Well, that brings us to Katya versus Bianca for what can literally only be described as the funniest lip sync of all time.
Yeah.
I hope it's
Sorry.
I hope it's the Venga Boys.
Boom, boom, boom.
Jonah won.
What'd you roll?
It does not matter. Jonah won.
Did you get negative points?
Yes.
But that's what we love about Katya. She just gets back up.
There you go.
She does.
Okay. So this is Saphira versus Bianca.
Oh God, I can't watch.
All right, Jojo, I'm hitting roll.
I hit roll.
Okay, I gotta look at my lip sync number because I rolled a decent number, but it really comes down to it. So let me find Saphira's lip sync value. Okay, my total combined is a 19.
No.
I'm so sorry to do this to you. I rolled a natural 20, so I have 21.
That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl.
Oh,
One day,
what
every
Glory
day.
of Saphira's life.
It would be that
Bianca would
good
be
and
the
that
lip sync is
close
massive
of a
this
lip
season.
sync.
Bianca doesn't lose, baby.
All right,
She's a
well,
winner.
that incredibly brings the we got to start giving out more stars or something because at the moment it's Nico with Saphira at 1 star, Jonah with Jonah with Rose at 1 star, Nymphia at 1 star, Bianca at 1 star, this bitch. TK's got Katya at 1 star and Roxy for Tori at 1 star. But can I just say, I would love to just give a star to everybody all the time, just for making it to the finals. So really, I think all of these girls deserve a bonus star. So, you know what? Yeah, everybody who won, everybody who made it to the finals this week. No. I just feel so bad that Jonah's got.
We gave out an extra star last week.
Yeah.
You can't. This is the part where Paramount says no. You can't have 25 episodes, RuPaul. You have to get rid of some of these girls.
We weren't really getting extra stars, but we have a game to think of. But I would love to give every one of these girls an extra. How about a star for every girl tonight? How about a star for every girl who made it to the finale tonight? Every one of you.
You get a star.
But no,
Nico
really,
is congeniality. It is true.
I am. But no, like I said, Saphira at 1 star, Rose, Nymphia, and Bianca from Team Jonah at 1 star, TK, Team TK that is, with Katya at 1 star, and was said Team Katya with TK at 1 star. TK, you're looking great in drag. And then Team Tori with Roxy at 1 star. Guys, I'm loving this. I'm having such a great time. Anybody, any thoughts before we sign off?
Ooh, that was really fun.
It really was. I had such a great time. I can't wait to cut this into its own segment. You guys are the best. So until we come back, TK, Tori, Jojo, Kevo, guys, thank you so much for such a great episode. We covered a little bit of everything from Drag Race Live to Snatch Game and our draft race game. And so, Jojo, where can everybody find you online?
You can find me online at Peak Jonah.
Tori, where can everybody find you online?
You can find me online at SM Tori. That's Tori with an I.
Producer Kevo, how about you?
Kevo really, KEVOREALLY.
Hey, TK.
TK accidental.
And I'm Nico Action, NICOACTION. You can check out my music at Nico Action Music, NICOACTION. You can check out all of the feeds of this show at Husbands Talking More or Less. That's HTML. X is for podcast and X is for show. If you guys want to do us 3 favors, like, comment, and subscribe. But if you guys want to do 3 things for yourselves, number 1, you guys can stay safe. It's a scary world. Number 2, you guys can be brave because, we love you. But number 3, evolve daily. Who you were yesterday, amazing. Who you are today, phenomenal. But who you are tomorrow, that's the dream. And we can't wait to see you then. So until then, catch ya.